How did you like Amy Allen today? They were all good, but she sang a song, and she probably told you the Universal Soldier. She sang that for me because I asked her to do that. And that sends such an important message to me personally, because it talks about really the essence of decision making. And it talks about when you really resist and should you strike? Should you strike and not participate any longer? And that song makes the point that it's the universal soldier that allows the bureaucrats and the big government power mongers in Washington and around the world to exist. And it's always done. They entice you, they get young people, and they make you feel like if you don't go along, you're unpatriotic. And like the song says, for 1,000 years, there's been the universal soldier. And where would the dictators be if we didn't have the universal soldier willing to go? There would be no wars. I think of the story of the early days of World War I on Christmas Eve. When they started, they took a pause, and the Germans and the British started singing Christmas carols. And they finally got together and exchanged gifts and had a Christmas tree. And then in a day or two later, the armed might of the government comes in and said, you will not have peace. You must go back to shooting and killing each other again. Two Christian nations killing each other for senseless reasons. No sense whatsoever. And it was the control of the universal soldier. And I have to confess, I've been the universal soldier too. You know, as a young man, as a doctor, I was drafted during the Cuban crisis. Ended up serving, not in Vietnam, but during that era. But there were times that people were starting to resist, but I marched off and I was the universal soldier. And there's a tough decision. What we need today to replace the universal soldier is the universal champion of liberty.
I can't sum up better what would change the world and bring this imposition to an end. That song by Donovan in the 60s, just went like this. He's 5'2" and he's 6'4". He fights with missiles and with spears. He's all of 31 and he's only 17. He's been a soldier for 1,000 years. He's the one who must decide who's to live and who's to die, and he never sees the writing on the wall. He's the universal soldier, and he really is to blame. His orders come from far away no more. They come from here and there, and you and me, and brothers and sisters, can't you see? This is not the way to put the end to war.
The thing is, we have one advantage. That they need us to cooperate. See, if we don't cooperate with them, they can't win.
He's 5'2" and he's 6'4". He fights with missiles and with spears. He's all of 31 and he's only 17. He's been a soldier for 1,000 years. He's a Catholic, a Hindu, an atheist, a Jain, a Buddhist and a Baptist and a Jew. And he knows he shouldn't kill, and he knows he always will. Kill you for me, my friend, and me for you. And he's fighting for Canada, he's fighting for France, he's fighting for the USA. And he's fighting for the Russians, and he's fighting for Japan. And he thinks we'll put an end to war this way. And he's fighting for democracy, he's fighting for the Reds. He says it's for the peace of all. He's the one who must decide who's to live and who's to die. And he never sees the writing on the wall. But without him, how would Hitler have condemned him at Laval? Without him, Caesar would have stood alone. He's the one who gives his body as a weapon of the war. And without him, all this killing can't go on. He's the universal soldier, and he really is to blame. His orders come from far away no more. They come from here and there, and you and me. And brothers, can't you see? This is not the way we put the end to war.